Hey everyone, it's Jenny at JC Cards and I am excited to be joining you today as part of a video hop celebrating myself, Ardyth and Kathya's 5,000 YouTube subscribers. We have a bunch of crafty friends joining us on today's hop and you can see the next stop on the hop in the description below. There are prizes to be won, so be sure to comment on each stop on the hop and you could be in with a chance to win one of several fabulous prizes from our sponsors. You can see more details on the prizes available over on our blogs. I have linked to them in the description box below. I myself am giving away a prize pack, so be sure to take part. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made this sparkly, glitzy, shiny, very Jenny-esque card. It features lots of products from our wonderful sponsors. Thank you so much to all the companies who are sponsoring this hop today. Ever so grateful. You're all amazing. So let's get started. I'm first off going to be doing some ink blending. Catherine Pooler is one of our sponsors and I love, love, love her inks. If you don't have them, you have to get them. They're very different, very juicy, beautifully bright, vibrant colours, and they blend like a dream. I'm using my Tailored Expressions blender brushes and a panel of Bristol smooth cardstock, which I like to blend on the most because it stops me leaving lots of kind of blender marks. Which you don't get too badly with these brushes, but you get much smoother blend when I use this cardstock, so it's my go-to for ink blending. And I recently discovered this new colour combination, Pink Champagne, Sangria, which is my favourite Catherine Pooler ink, Juniper Mist, and then a tiny bit of Midnight, and it's gorgeous. I set it aside to dry, and then I grabbed my stencils, and I'm going for this Roses stencil. I'm going to be making my own glitter embossing paste, which some of you may have seen me do in other videos, and it's one of my favourite techniques, especially because I get to dive into my Wow Sparkles collection. Because this is a hop with a theme of celebration, I had to, of course, grab the sparkles in celebration. It's a really nice chunky glitter, lots of silver sparkly bits and gold sparkly bits. And I'm going to mix it with some translucent embossing paste. This one's by Dreamweaver. There are other brands available. And I like to dollop a little bit more than I think I'll need onto a craft mat, something that you can wipe down. And then I add a good generous helping of my glitter. You can always go back in and add a little bit more if you need to. And then I fold it in with my palette knife, almost like you're kind of slowly making some sort of delicate batter. I've been doing a lot of home cooking recently. I made a pear upside down cake the other day. It was really good. I was the only one who liked it, but I thought it was good. Anyway, and I added a little bit more when I folded all of the batter together and found that I couldn't quite see my glitter, so I add a little bit more. Translucent embossing paste is white when it goes on and it dries clear, and it sort of holds the glitter in suspension and it looks really cool. It kind of magnifies the big chunky glittery bits, and it's one of my favourite techniques. So I overlaid it with this Roses stencil. This is also by Catherine Pooler. Smoothed it out like I was frosting a cake, lifted it up and set it aside to dry. It takes about 20 to 45 minutes to dry. Now I'm going to use my Wow Changers. If you don't know how to use these, I just recently did a video featuring them over on my channel, which I'll link to here. And I'm going to be using it with one of my favourite embossing powders by Wow. This is Rose Glints. It's kind of a metallic-y sheen, translucent powder with a really pretty pink rosy tinted colour. And I'm using it with the Glisten changer, which adds some glittery iridescent sparkle into whichever embossing powder you mix it with. I'm going for 3 scoops of the Glisten and 3 scoops of the Rose Glints. I always wish this had some glitter in it. There isn't a rosy, glittery, sparkly Wow embossing powder that I know of. So I've made my own. And I actually did make a little bit more than I needed. Usually I make just enough to cover for my project so I can save the little pot and have it empty for the next mixing session. But this time I made a little bit too much, but that's okay because I just love this powder. It'll definitely go on another project in the near future. So I'm going to be die cutting my embossing. I'm going to take a panel of 110-pound cardstock, which is good and sturdy for die cut words. I'm going to completely coat it with Wow embossing ink and then shake over my Rose Glints with Glisten mix. completely coat it, and I catch everything in a coffee filter so I can filter it back into the pot. And then I heat up my powder. I want to do 2 layers at least. That's why I did a little bit more than I thought I might need in case I wanted to do 3 layers. Just because it's a translucent powder and I wanted to really show off that rose colour. So I heated it up, and then I've come back in with my embossing ink and then sprinkled over my mix one more time. And I decided I only need to do 2 layers at the end. So I'm just going to heat it up again with my WU heat tool. And then here's a close-up look. You can see that sparkle in my studio lights, the lights over my desk that I film on. And I just wanted to show you that top circle on the pot is the rose glints without sparkle. And then you can see how much different it looks with the sparkle added, and it does lighten the colour a little bit as well. So for my die cut sentiment, I'm using this Hugs sentiment. It's in the Honey script by one of our sponsors, Birch Press Designs, who have the best sentiment dies. I just love them. I like the Sugar script, and this is I think this is a newer one. It's new to me anyway. I just love that curve to it. And I die cut the top layer from the embossed panel, and then the lower layer, the outline layer, I've die cut from vellum, and then I'm just going to glue them together with my art glitter glue. And that gives you a nice sturdy sentiment that you can overlay or pop up on the top of your card panels. Now, to add a little bit of interest behind my sentiment, I've taken some of the leftover vellum. This is quite sturdy vellum from Ellen Hudson, one of our sponsors today. And I'm going to heat emboss using the rose glints again to coordinate. This time it's not with the glisten in it. This is just the straight out of the rose glints tub embossing powder. And I have this flower that I recently got from Altenew in the mail. I think it was part of their 6th anniversary hop, or 6th anniversary celebrations. It was a freebie, and I thought it was pretty. It worked really perfectly with that Hugs sentiment. So I've heat embossed it in the rose glints onto this panel of vellum, and then I'm going to fussy cut it out because there isn't a coordinating die, and that's always quite relaxing just to sit and fussy cut as long as you don't go wrong and have to start all over again, which I did not this time. But I did do it off camera just in case. And by the way, while you're watching, I just wanted to point out my bracelet. It was a Mother's Day gift from my daughter Ruby. I love it. It's all of the planets. It's got some stars on it as well, made out of gemstones. I thought it was very cool. So back to our panel, it has now dried, and you can see that glitter, the WU sparkles, are encased within that clear translucent embossing paste, and it looks super sparkly. And I can trim down the panel now it's dried to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and add some double-sided adhesive to the back and adhere it straight onto a £110 note card that I've scored at the top, just leaving that small white border around the edge. So I'm going to pop up my Hugs sentiment. I'm using some Doris foam strips just to give some dimension. They're thin enough that I can hide them behind the straight lines of each of the letters, pop it up onto that vellum flower, and then hide some more foam tape just behind those same letters. And that way I've kind of sandwiched my vellum between foam strips, and it doesn't show through to the front, because attaching vellum can be a bit of a nightmare sometimes, so you can avoid seeing that glue. And then to finish it off, I've got this strip. It's by Tailored Expressions, and I just thought it'd be perfect. I'm celebrating with you guys today. 5K, 5,000 subscribers on my channel. I never thought I'd get there. I really want to say thank you to everyone who subscribes to my channel. And any of you guys who don't and want to, please think about it. I do try and do videos every week, at least every 2 weeks. And hopefully you find them fun, informative, full of techniques. So give us a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you want to see in the future. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has watched my videos over the past couple of years that it's taken me to build this channel. And that pretty much finishes my card. Of course, I did finish it off with some pretty pink posh rose gold sequins in 6mm and 4mm. They are gorgeous. I've had them in my stash forever. I cannot ever run out of them. I love them to bits. And Pretty Pink Posh are also a sponsor of ours. So thank you once again for watching. Be sure to check out the next video on the hop in the description box below, as well as all the supplies I've used. If you liked my channel and you don't currently subscribe, please do consider, and here's a couple of other videos you might like. Have a wonderful day. Bye!